So the pain is mostly past, and there were a few other things I wanted to talk about with myself that aren't really, I haven't gotten to yet because I feel behind. I'm reading a book called Tribes, and the cover said, "Tribes, we need you to lead us." And it's really good. There's a line in the book that says, "It's more fun to make the rules than follow them." A line that said, "Troublemakers are the key to our success. Become a heretic yourself. Leadership is about creating a change you believe in." Blah, blah. It's a really good book. It's written in a very encouraging tone, and I like that right now. And there was another quote in the book, Swarm Intelligence. He said, "The remainder of Swarm Intelligence is written to provide a catalyst for a viral overview effect, expanding our collective perspective beyond prior limitations." And I haven't started reading from that point on yet, but I'm excited too. I'm quite busy in these next few days. I have a lot for work, so I won't really be able to talk to myself as much. Possibly that's why I feel this urge to talk to myself today. And I had a really good talk with Katie, and I was telling her some of my ideas about creating a meaning bank and a bank of insights, and collecting it all together and putting it through an algorithm, and that way it would say which meanings and which insights and memes are most common, and maybe there's an overlying theme and message there if you put a lot of these different brains harvesting the meaning together. And she said, "Oh, that sounds a little bit like this thing that I know somebody's created." And so she gave me a link to something called noomap.info, spelled NOOMAP.info. And I went on there, and there's a lot more to explore on there, but this is exactly what I was envisioning. Not exactly, but it exactly resonates with me. They've gone beyond, for sure. And it's pretty incredible. And they're living as co-creators, these people. And yeah, they have some videos on their website. And when I have more time, soon, I want to delve deeply into learning about what they're doing and maybe share my dialogue with myself with them, because some of them were labeled too, and now they're living beyond that and co-creating and things. And really what it is about is moving from being labeled with a mental illness to being a co-creator. I think part of the reason why it comes out manifesting as a personal mental illness, because one is not surrounded by co-creators. One is surrounded by projectors of the past. And so when we're born into being a co-creator, we will co-create with whatever is around us. So if we're around projectors of the past, we'll co-create with that. We'll create more of the past. We'll create more drama of that situation because it's a powerful space. But being around co-creators, something different would happen. And that's kind of the point that I'm making this whole time. And there's people already living that way, and they met each other 5 years ago, and they've been doing this, and so they're way ahead of the game, and that's amazing. So maybe I would plan it in my trip to go try and meet some of these co-creator people. That would be amazing. So in the last video, I was sitting with the pain of my past and all of humanity, and now I'm talking about going to visit these co-creator people who are way ahead of the game. So who knows? I watched one of the videos on the new map website and I was totally blown away. They mentioned these 7 principles of co-creation, and apparently they were outlined by Barbara Marx Hubbard. And I've heard that name. Maybe she's part of the Institute of Noetic Sciences or Heart Math or something. I don't know. That's my guess without looking it up. And there's 7 principles, which are something like synergy, synchronicity, syntony, and these other S words that I can't remember, but it sounds like there are actual words for some of these phenomena that I've been attempting to describe on my own. And I've been doing this to create a context of memes to keep myself shielded from the memes of seeing myself as defective and deficient and mentally ill and all that. But it seems like there's already a universe created of that languaging and people living in it. And I'm not there yet. I need to continue to create memes and do reading around being a creative individual. Because right now I feel like it's not so much this challenge or battle of getting out of the mental health system, but it's getting out of the reality where people think everything's impossible. That's not possible because of this. This is not possible because of that. Into the world of creative possibilities and creating possibilities. And it's challenging to do that around people who don't see life the same way. Energy of perception goes into seeing that others don't see life the same way and feeling discouraged by that, which is what the impossibility paradigm does, is discourage that energy in people to living in a world where things really feel possible and it's exciting and yeah, we can do this, we can create something new, we can create something different. There's very few people that feel that way in terms of the percentage of the world. And there's a lot of evidence out there to prove that things are impossible, for sure. More evidence, especially what we're shown in the media. It's all the evidence why the world is going to hell. But people who go into map consciousness or trance consciousness or Kundalini energy and all these different energies are awakened to how powerful this creative energy and people creating and cooperating together are, just like the swarm intelligence. If one ant was by itself trying to build a whole ant colony without the rest of the colony, of course it would feel like it's impossible, but with the whole colony of ants working together, it's a piece of cake. So one gets acquainted with that power that is that co-creative energy that would lead us to cooperate and collaborate and co-create, and things would really feel possible really quickly. I'm sure ants don't work together and feel like, oh my gosh, this is so impossible. Their colony and what they create is their joy of living. Creating it and living within what they've created. No other creature feels this drudgery of life because no other creature lives out of alignment with their environment, though I'm sure creatures now feel the drudgery of life because so much of their environment is being destroyed. So no wonder we feel the drudgery of life more and more. It's planetary, it's not human, unique to human beings. And I was reading some of the history of the world in the book Swarm Intelligence, and talking about the different co-creative things that have happened, like the feudal system and the hunter-gatherers, and then the cultivation of crops, and so much of it is the history of masculine energy. Of course, the female energy plays a part in there, but it's so passive, because it is passive, more passive, but yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. And I was watching a little bit of video 20 that I made that is from late August. And then I put it in the 20th spot. And I talk about this swarm and ant thing and make reference to it before reading the book Swarm Intelligence. And I really do feel that we have to discover something within ourselves, for ourselves, before we can encounter it, before we can discover it out there in the manifest. In saying that, where is the joy? And speaking of ants, I have this supplement, and I think it's from ants, which isn't really vegan or anything, but I wonder if this is such a powerful antioxidant because it's from ants, which have swarm intelligence. I wonder if this can manifest some swarm intelligence in human beings, because one is taking on the properties of ants, social insects. I really don't know, but it's possible. And I also put a bottle of Hardy Nutritionals micronutrients, and also the amino acids in my car, so that way I don't have to worry about being out and about and not having any on hand. I usually remember to fill up my little travel container, but what if for some reason I want to live like a manic and just say, sure, I'll go here for 3 days? If I don't have those with me, I can't go anywhere. So that's why I did that. And I try to keep enough things in my purse that if I did need to go somewhere, all of a sudden I could. So yeah, this new map website, there is so much on there. I can't even believe this. And that's showing the power of sharing one's visions. I shared my visions and ideas and thoughts and dreams with Katie, and she's like, I know someone who's doing that and has already kind of done most of it. And it's wonderful when people have already done things, because then one doesn't have to do it oneself. So I'm wondering if there's a way to reach out to them creatively and find my tribe of people, co-creators. And it felt really wonderful to know that they're already out there. They've already created something. They've already got a creative respite. They've already got a creative space. So I wonder if I can get there. I wonder if that is my new dream. And the one guy on the video, one of the 3 people that I watched an interview with, he was diagnosed with bipolar and was in that for 15 years, and now he's a co-creator and he's still working at it, and he wants to share his journey with people so that they don't get pathologized. He's doing the same thing that I am. So I hope I can survive this immense pain. Maybe if I put those posts on draft, the pain will go away. I do want to talk a lot more about this new map thing. I just touched on it today. And I have some really great, amazing, supportive people in my life. And I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for food. I'm grateful for my space heater and my car, and I ask the universe to help me through this, because depending on that, how it goes, depending on how this goes, it could maybe be somewhat helpful. And I do feel like this next part isn't about family is bad or anything. I care about my family deeply. But each generation has its own way of seeing the world, and we can't, it's about the way we see the world, and how the way we each see it affects how others see it. And I don't know, I've seen that all things are possible. And that's a quote that the guy from the new map says on one of his videos. Together, we have everything we need. And we really do. Together.